What's going on, guys? All right, so today I've got something to say about basically brands in general, so vinyl brands in general. Now, and just brands in general, everyone had to come up from the bottom and at one point, and they started somewhere. Now, I know from obviously my videos about 3M that a lot of you have disliked my videos and my opinion about 3M. I'm not deliberately trying to find bad 3M out there. I'm literally just dealing with what I'm given. So, and what I've been given hasn't been good, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to installing 3M, I've installed 3M. It was the first vinyl I ever installed. It's the first color change I ever used. My first half a dozen wraps were with 3M 1080. It was fantastic. I could install it in the sun, outside, no shelter, no shade, no nothing, in the heat. And it would work totally fine. My first half a dozen wraps were outside in a tent, basically. Not even the first few. The first few were outside, not even with a tent. And then on top of that, I would install in the winter time when it was probably like 45, 50 degrees Fahrenheit in the shop or in the garage, like in my home garage. And so it's just about 10 degrees Celsius or so. And the vinyl wouldn't really rip, and it was good stuff. Like, I could use it. And I was a beginner. I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't have anyone to show me what I was doing back then. And then back then I was just teaching myself. We're talking like 7 years ago. So I've probably been using 3M 1080 for a lot longer than a lot of you have even been wrapping cars. Not to say that I'm any better. I just know what it was like back then and what it's like now. So the difference between then and now, I can absolutely tell you that there is a difference in the vinyl itself. It's not what it was. It used to be fantastic. And sorry, I'm just checking my mic. It used to be fantastic, and it's not fantastic anymore. And is that a problem? Of course it's a problem. Instead of these two cars behind me being installed in 3M, I installed them in Avery because it's fantastic. It works great. If Vivid had satin white and satin black, I would probably have used Vivid 2 or whatever, or anything else. But I used Avery because it's very accessible, it's easy to use, and it doesn't cause me problems. I can count on it. The quality is there. I wrapped this M4 in 2 days roughly, and then this ML63 has to be wrapped in like 2 days too. So could I have done that with a 3M? No, I was struggling to get a hood done in like half a day. So again, there's always going. So my point here is that there's always going to be issues with brands. Now, battle of the brands, of course, there's going to be a battle of the brands. Everyone's trying to compete for a place in the market. Was Vivid always fantastic? No. It was actually, when I started using it, like probably 5 or 6 years ago, I started using Vivid and Avery because I was looking for alternatives to 3M. I was looking for more color options. So then I discovered Avery several months later, to half a year later. Started using Avery. I actually found Avery was kind of hard to use at the time. It's the same SW900 film that it is today. I just found it difficult compared to 3M. I thought that 3M was that easy to use. But again, I gave Avery a chance and I used it, and it turns out to be a fantastic film. Now, was Vivid good back then? So about 6 months later, after discovering Avery, I was still looking for more colors on the market. So always looking for other options, right? And I came across Vivid, and they happened to be in Montreal, in Quebec, in Canada, and that's close by. I live in Toronto, Ontario. We're talking like 5 hours drive. So cool, give them a chance. They're nearby. They sent me some samples. We did a couple of full wraps in that stuff, and it was actually not good at all. We had a lot of issues. We had a lot of issues with lifting. The vinyl cracked, stuff like that. Has Vivid come a long way? Sure as hell has. It's come huge. Like, it's unbelievable how far they've come in the industry. And why do I use them? Because I believe in them, and they are constantly working on bettering their product. So while Avery already has a fantastic product and 3M is letting theirs go down the toilet, Vivid is developing their product to be better and better and better all the time. And I help them with that because I do a lot of wraps. And I can actually reach out to you guys for opinions on things. What do you think? I have the wrap channel, I have the Facebook groups, I have all kinds of stuff where we can all get together and talk and get each other's opinion on what's happening in this industry and what's happening with vinyls. It's great, the fact that I can reach out to you guys and get information. And I'm always open to ideas, and they're open to ideas too, and they're open to developing and making better and new products and new colors, and that's why all these new colors that's coming out, that's a product basically, from you guys asking for it all the time, and I keep telling them, and they see it on, they see the comments on YouTube, they see the comments on Instagram, they see the comments on Facebook. This is all in hopes of developing the product, right? So did I hate 3M? No. It's just not a good product anymore, in my opinion. It used to be fantastic, and I used to use it all the time. I would have happily have wrapped these two cars in 3M if it had been a good product. Avery and 3M both have satin white and satin black. I could have used it. Again, I didn't, because the product is not good. So, like I said, there's always a place in the marketplace. There's always a battle in the marketplace. Avery actually used to be considered not good, and no one would use Avery. And when they were coming up, now look at them. They're like the top of the chain. They're killing it as far as their color change films go. They're easy to use, great for beginners. They've got a great variety of colors. They're working on new colors, and they believe in their product. They stand by it. They're not so quick to say, here's a warranted roll. Here, take it for the next day. What they need you to do is they need you to send in pictures, send in samples. It takes a couple of weeks. Okay, sure, it takes a couple of weeks to get a warranty on a roll, but that's fine. That's how confident they are in the quality of their product. That's what it shows me, is that they're very confident in the quality of their product, and that they know that their quality control is up to par, and that there are not a lot of bad rolls going out. And while 3M is just like, oh, you got a bad roll? Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. I don't even have to send a picture in to get warranty on 3M. I can just tell them, and they'll actually let me keep the roll and send me another roll. That's how crazy that is. To me, that's how little they believe in their product. Vivid, you have to send in pictures. You've got to, and if you need warranty on the whole roll, you got to send the roll back. It's the fact that 3M doesn't even want me to send the roll back. That's crazy. I did not claim warranty on that roll that I threw in the dumpster. I did not claim a bad product. I left it there because that's where I think it belongs, and that is to make a statement. It's not about the money. It's about making a statement in the industry. It's in hopes that they will develop a better product. They will get their heads together and start working on what the problem is. My idea of what the problem probably is that there are a lot of distributors out there who are holding on to a lot of 3M 1080 from years ago when it was made. This stuff expires. It can't sit on the shelf forever and ever and ever. It's going to expire. It's going to, the glue and the adhesive and everything else is not going to work the same way, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years down the road. So some of these rolls that are going into circulation now, they're just getting old. That's what I think. They're just getting old, and 3M is not pulling them from the suppliers, from the third-party companies who are distributing this stuff. Why I think that people are having good experiences and bad experiences, and there are some people who are always having good experiences, because their facilities that are distributing near them are constantly cycling out their product. So they're not sitting on old product. Sure, 3M is probably making more 1080, but there's probably a lot of it sitting around if it hasn't sold. And like I said, it hasn't been pulled off the shelf yet. And so, hence why we're all getting bad rolls of vinyl. My last video on throwing the vinyl in the dumpster has has a ton of likes, guys. There's way more people liking that, and there's a lot of comments about, how people are having the same issue. This is not installer error. It has nothing to do with installer error. It has to do with quality of product. Because if it was installer error, I wouldn't have been able to install it when I was first wrapping cars. To say that my skills are worse now, 7 years down the road, than they were 7 years ago, is just a ludicrous statement to even make. The fact that you say that I'm installing it wrong, it is actually a poor product in the end. Again, they all started somewhere, and it goes up and down all the time. Hopefully, they will get it together and get their vinyl to be good again. And we all rely on it. This is not a big industry. There are very limited colors and very limited brands to choose from. It's not like we have 50 different options to choose from. Like you can go out and buy a pair of shoes and get like 50 different pairs of shoes and 50 different brands. This is not the same thing. We're pretty limited, so we're always looking for more options and more color variations. Does 3M have some cool colors? Of course they do. They came out with the 3M Psychedelic. Like, that's a cool color, and no one else did that, and they were one of the first ones to do that. So they're innovative with their product, with their colors. Now what they need to do is they need to get their heads together and figure out what's going on with their adhesive and their glue line issues and the air release and all that stuff, because it's not working out. Even actually, I don't know if it's old vinyl on the shelf or not, because I've even had troubles with 3M Psychedelic where there's tons of glue lines, collapsed air channels, and that's even when you glass it out. You can't glass it out, because when you glass it out, it just traps air too on top of that. So it's really like, it's a battle back and forth when you're trying to work with it. Like I said, some people are having great luck with it. I don't think it has anything to do with skill level. You might think so. I mean, if you think that you're one of 1 million in the world who can install 3M, I mean, great. You know, the fact that it's not as easy as it used to be, there's something wrong there, because something changed along the way. Because I tell you, when I first started using it, it was not nearly as difficult as it is now. Anyways, guys, I just want to give you my 2 cents on what's going on in the industry and kind of what happens. Again, it's these brands, some of them work together. You know, Vivid and 3M actually, and Oracal, those 3 brands, they work together, which is really strange. Because, I mean, but they all have very different products. You know, Oracal is one of the biggest brands in the world as far as film goes. And they work together yet with 3M and Vivid works with them. And they all, I think some of their stuff is produced in the same facilities, and they work on similar technologies and advancements and things like that, from what I was told. So, again, I don't know this is a fact, but again, this is what I was told. I would probably need a few people to verify that for me. If you have verification of that, please drop it in the comments below. I'm happy to hear your opinion. And if you have an opinion about what I just talked about right here, please drop it in the comments below. I will read through it. I'm going to try to respond. You guys have conversations, talk about what's going on in the industry. You know, this is what this is for. This is what this channel is for. This is why I have the Wrap channel on Facebook, that group, so that everyone can come together and talk about what's going on with their wraps, show off ideas, or talk about ideas, show off their cars, you know, anything like that. So, guys, I appreciate you watching. It wasn't a rant. It was just to kind of talk about what's going on in the industry. And thank you. You know, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more videos, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Take care.